It's strange to know someone who has the same exact mannerisms of someone else who has passed on. Strange, yes, but it can be extremely comforting. Victoria and Justin certainly could welcome that feeling. They are Victoria and Justin Nelson of Phoenix, Arizona. When the two first met, they were mere pups at 12 years old. They started dating when they were high school sophomores and made it all the way through college without breaking up. At 21, the time was right to get married. They were definitely in love, and that's a good thing, because what soon lay ahead for them would test the heart, strength, and soul of anyone. At 23, Victoria gave birth to a little baby girl. They named her Mariah. Sometime before that birth, the couple was told the baby Victoria was carrying had a heart defect. Once the little girl was born, she was immediately placed on a ventilator, and doctors found out how serious her heart condition really was. After a heart catheterization, they informed the couple that Mariah had a very complex heart disorder, and it was going to take a surgery, possibly multiple surgeries, to fix it. Victoria wanted so badly to put time in reverse and have Mariah back in her belly, where she was safe. During the surgery, while in the parents' waiting room, the couple watched as a father ran out into the hallway and dropped to his knees after learning his child had just died. It was a terrible sight to see, and it left a disturbing impression on Justin. He just couldn't shake that image. Losing their daughter was a big possibility, and they were crushed by that thought. They realized how truly close death was to all the parents who waited in that room. But Mariah came through that surgery and was put in the CVICU. So many times before and after that, Victoria found herself saying, "Why us, God? Why us?" After a while, she realized she had to show more strength and put on a more confident skin. She finally accepted that God was in the driver's seat and He would take them all where they needed to be. Doctors told Victoria and Justin after the surgery that Mariah had a very rare complex condition known as charge. All they could really do was pray. When Mariah had recovered enough, she was placed in the NICU. There was a lot of tubes coming out of her to keep her going. Victoria and Justin both felt so ill-equipped to handle all of this at such a young age, as the doctors whispered to each other all those scary and strange medical terms. But with every new day, they pushed through. And one of the best things that helped them do that was Mariah herself, smiling and laughing and following them with her big brown eyes. As more and more time passed with their little girl in the hospital, Victoria and Justin tried to adjust to all of her behaviors, from the infections to the dreaded cycles of vomiting. They also had to deal with comments from others, like, "You need to take her home and let her heart give out. Her heart is too complex," or "She's going septic and she has a 50% chance of living," or "She's failing extubation and she needs a tracheostomy." It was always something, and it was always overwhelming. Sometimes, the couple had to force themselves to get through things with little games. One day, Victoria and the nurses quietly teamed up on Justin as he was holding Mariah. One of them would squirt chocolate pudding out of a syringe onto Justin's shirt, as another would distract him. They would then point and tell him that Mariah just made a mess on him. His reaction, of course, was priceless. Victoria and Justin also would work together to come up with silly little songs to sing for Mariah, as Justin would dance for her with a pillow over his head. It would tickle Mariah every time. When Mariah finally left the hospital, she was 2 years old. It was a long journey, but now they were heading home. Over the next 4.5 years, Victoria and Justin adapted to their new home life with Mariah, as she adapted to it as well. Their little girl was now living with a tracheostomy, a ventilator, gastrostomy tube, oxygen, medical adaptive equipment, and nurses who lived in their home to help take care of her. Victoria and Justin added to their family with Jaden and Olivia. They grew to love Mariah, and she loved them too. In late 2014, at almost the age of 7, Mariah caught an infection that went straight to her heart. and as hard as the doctors tried to help her, there was really nothing else they could do. Her little body had just had too much and couldn't take it anymore. When she passed on, Victoria's and Justin's hearts were shattered. Not a day goes by without both of them thinking of her. She taught both of them so much about love, unconditional love, and to find it beyond the surface, to find value in everyone, no matter what. Victoria has written 2 children's books since then. They are Hiya Mariah and I Am Me from A to Z. Says Victoria, I want to create spaces where Mariah's friends can see themselves and their experiences represented, and I want to encourage children to wave and say Hiya to boys and girls like Mariah, instead of just staring or ignoring people who are different than they are. Through my series, Mariah and Friends, my hope is to raise awareness, acceptance, and representation for children with disabilities. Justin quit his job as an account executive and became a minister. He now helps families in need spiritually at the hospital. The COVID pandemic has made his job quite intense. The couple has also added to their family with a little boy. His name is Shane. He has so many of the same mannerisms and quirks as Mariah did. He also has autism. Being with him is such a familiarity for Victoria and Justin. It's also one of their biggest comforts. Please like, comment, and share. Join us and change lives. Pleased to have you around. Blessed we are to get connected with you.